Ecoholics. In this video, we'll be understanding the Malthus theory of population. So Malthusianism is the idea that population growth is potentially exponential, while the growth of food supply is linear, which eventually reduces the living standards and lead to a population die-off. It sounded very difficult, right? But it's not. In Malthus' theory of population, he basically talks about the relationship between food supply and the population growth. According to him, when in a country food supply increases, the population also increases. It was easy, right? But there is a catch. According to Malthus, the food supply, it increases at an arithmetic rate, whereas the population growth increases at a geometric rate. These two rates, meaning arithmetic rate means it rises at 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, whereas geometric rate meaning it rises at 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64. This is the meaning of arithmetic rate and the geometric rate. You can conclude that the population growth which rises at the geometric rate rises very rapidly, whereas the food supply which rises at an arithmetic rate rises very slowly, or it rises at a very constant rate. Let's understand this theory with the help of a graph. Here on the x-axis we have the time period, on the y-axis we have the quantity. We have two curves. First we have this curve. This curve is the population growth rate, and this line here, it shows the growth rate of food supply. Where these two lines meet, this is known as the crisis point. Below this point, we have the food supply more as compared to the population growth rate. And if we move above this point, above the crisis point, we have the population growth rate more as compared to the food supply. This is known as the crisis point, and you can see the gap is widening. The gap between the population growth rate and the growth rate of food supply is widening. So below this point we have food supply more, and above the crisis point we have population growth rate more. But due to this uncontrollably rising population, we can see that the economy is facing the scarcity of food and other resources also. To tackle this situation, Malthus suggests population check. To control this population, he suggests two measures. First one is your positive check, another is your preventive check. So let's understand these two checks one by one. First is your preventive check. It includes family planning, late marriages to control the population. Second is your positive check. It's the nature's way of checking the population. So you need to think a situation where the population is rising very rapidly and you do not have enough resources to satisfy the needs of this population, and the people or the humans are not doing anything to curb this rising population. So what will happen? There will be scarcity of food. The people will be malnourished, and the living standards will deplete because they will have no work. The unemployment will be rising. As a result, there will be a war against countries for the resources, because the resources are very limited and we have abundance of population. So what will happen? Eventually the death rate will rise. So the population will be in control. So these were the two checks. First one was the preventive check. Next one was the positive check. This was all about the Malthus theory of population, which basically told us about the relationship between food supply and the population growth. You need to remember the two rates, arithmetic rate and the geometric rate, and the two checks. Thank you. If you liked this video and understood the Malthus theory of population, do press the like button and subscribe to our channel Ecoholics. Thank you. I'll meet you in the next video.